Well, good morning, Will County, and welcome to the Life with Vitality show, and a happy new year to everyone that's out there listening. I hear that we're supposed to get a bunch of snow, so hopefully you've got your snowshoes ready and your snow shovels, and you are ready to bring in the new year with the snow that we have all been anticipating. So if you are listening locally, you know about the weather front coming in. If you are listening on our Facebook page or from around the United States here today, then maybe your weather is better than what we're about to get. So stay tuned for that, I'm sure. But let's talk today about New Year's resolutions. And for those of you who haven't heard some of this discussion, we talked about it last week a little bit. But how do you make your New Year's resolution actually stick? And we're going to go through some of the nuts and bolts of it. And if you are not driving and you have the opportunity to actually write something down, that's going to be extremely powerful for you. There's a lot of studies that out there that show that writing things down helps your psychology accomplish things. It's therapeutic. It helps you remember. It puts in like a muscle really cool. So if you have the opportunity to write down your goals, I would encourage you to do so. It also is a great way to then remember what you actually said you were going to do, because a lot of times we just forget. With all of the things that we have going on in our life, sometimes we'll make a goal and 3 months later we don't even remember what that was. Or maybe we just made too many goals and so we can't remember all of them. So writing it down is going to be really important. So if you have a piece of paper, we're going to be going through an exercise and a pen. Write it down. Don't type it into a computer. It doesn't have the same effect as physically writing it down. That's one of the reasons why with the VitaLife program, we still have people journal rather than using an app, like handwrite in a journal what they're eating, how they're feeling, all of those things. And for those who are on the VitaLife program, you know what I'm talking about with that. So again, you're listening to the Life with Vitality show. I'm your host, Davis Jaspers, the founder of the VitaLife program, and coming to you talking about New Year's resolutions. And if you are listening on our Facebook page, make sure you say hi. Let me know where you're listening from. We have Dan listening in from Manhattan today, and Brian all the way from Stony Brook University, New York. Great to have you on the Life with Vitality show. So how are you going to do it this year? How are you going to make your New Year's resolution work? Really great. I read the other day on one of our Facebook posts, a client Facebook page saying, this is the first year that I don't have to make a weight loss resolution because I've already lost the weight. You know what? When we think about resolutions, 80% of New Year's resolutions are about losing weight or becoming healthier. So maybe it's losing weight, maybe it's starting an exercise routine, maybe it's quitting smoking or cutting back on the alcohol. But most New Year's resolutions center around that because in our human psychology, we understand the importance of making our health a priority. But the problem comes in with the issue of that immediate gratification as opposed to a long-term reward. So when we look at wanting to do right by our own self, when we look at wanting to do right by our health, the problem comes when we walk into the office and somebody's birthday and they're handing out donuts. Now, that doesn't happen as much with the coronavirus, but it's even worse because you're just sitting at home and there's all this extra food and you get bored and you want to munch on stuff and you have this whole pantry that's full of chips and cookies and everything that you can snack on. But deep down inside, we understand that if we are indulging in these foods, that long term, that's going to hurt our health. So when we come to our New Year's time, and when we can take time to focus on what do I want to become this year, one of the top things that most people who make resolutions around is becoming healthier. And then life happens. 92% of New Year's resolutions fail by the end of the year, and 80% of them will fail by the second week of February, only 6 weeks. And most people have given up on their New Year's resolution. Only 8% actually hit their New Year's resolution. And when we look at weight loss, it's even the statistics are even sadder for the long-term success and results. Only about somewhere between two, because there's a few different studies that have looked at this, between as low as 2 and as high as 10% of those who lose 10% or more of their body weight are able to keep that off for 2 years or more. That's it. So why is that? Okay, now we talked about that last week, and I don't want to. I want to review it, but I don't want to develop that. But we talked about why that is last week and what you need to do to make a difference with that. And part of that was changing the language that we use around New Year's resolutions. So rather than making it a resolution, which, when we look at just the definition of resolution, it's a firm decision to do something. I am resolved to do something, to lose weight, to clean up my diet. That's my resolution. And what I like to think about and what I like to change every year is, let's make this a New Year's revolution. Because a revolution, if you look at just Webster's definition of a revolution, is a forceful overthrow of a government by the people, or a sudden grand change. Now, if we just compare those, it gets exciting to talk about a revolution, because I'm going to overthrow the government, which my own government is my mind. So I'm going to forcefully overthrow my own mind so that way I can become the person I want to become. Now, when I look at that, or the other side of that definition for revolution was a grand change. When I look at the difference in those words, I can see why, just in the vocabulary, why New Year's why New Year's resolutions tend not to work. It's because we have the strong resolve, but we're not really all in. It's like, I am resolved. I have a strong resolve to do something, unless it gets too hard. And what the VitaLife program, just a short commercial here. It's my show, so I suppose I can do a commercial. So short commercial is, we don't claim at VitaLife, and I love this about what we do, that our program is easy. Because if it was easy, you wouldn't appreciate it and you would always gain your weight back. It's got to be hard. Now, I will say it's fast, it's safe, it's the best way to lose weight, but it's not easy. And what we are looking for as a Vital Lifer, as we have called them, those are people who are on our VitaLife program and are living the VitaLife program, and you're never off the VitaLife program. It may change and morph, and your diet's going to change over time, to really zero in on what works for you as far as health and mental strength and physical health and physical strength. But you're always on the VitaLife program, because it's not just something you do to lose weight. It's something you do to be healthy. It's a lifestyle change. And by the way, the rapid weight loss that you experience is just a side effect of you actually taking care of your body. And it's something that you're going to have to do the rest of your life. So one of the things that we get asked all the time is, hey, do you guys have like prepackaged meals? It would make this so much, you fill in the blank, easier. Heck no. We don't have prepackaged meals, because you need to learn how to cook. You have to learn how to cook healthy food at home. It's going to save you a ton of money. It's going to save you even more in medical costs as you age. You have to learn how to take and optimize your health by cooking healthy meals at home. And there's really no way around that. Maybe if you could get a private chef to cook those meals for you, that would work. But apart from that, you cannot rely on going out to eat to be healthy. You can't rely even on, if you have some medical issues, or if you have metabolism issues, or you need special help to get your metabolism functioning like it should. You're not going to order those easy meals like Hello Fresh and things like that that they make healthy meals for you or healthier meals for you, and they make it super simple to cook. That's a step in the right direction, but you need something that's customized to you. That may be something that'll work for you long term, but it's not going to help you get the weight off and get healthy. That's step one. So anyway, how are you going to this year make this year, man, wouldn't it be great if your New Year's resolution for 2022 was not weight loss? Think about what life would be like if next year at this same time you're listening to my radio show and I'm talking about New Year's revolution. Like, yeah, I've been there, I've done that. I'm going to make a New Year's revolution this year that is not about weight because I don't need to lose weight. What could you make your New Year's revolution about? What else could you become that year? Rather than going back to the same thing every year, man, I need to lose weight, man, I need to lose weight, I need to lose weight. What could life look like for you if all of a sudden that wasn't something you had to worry about? What if you took this year and you learned how to live like a vital lifer, and you had the education to know exactly what you needed for your body to be healthy the rest of your life? What would that be worth to you? What pride would you feel by accomplishing that? If you're listening on my Facebook page right now and you've lost the weight, you've done the work, and you're living a vital life, let me know, what was that like? How much pride do you feel because of what you did? And that's what it's all about at VitaLife. It's just about what you can do. We've got coaches, we've got all of the bells and whistles to help you succeed. We can help you overcome metabolism issues. We can help you overcome many health issues. We can give you the best supplements. We have the bioscans. We have everything that is possible for you to succeed. But at the end of the day, you are the hero of your own story. In other words, you're the one that's going to have to go through the work to make it happen. We are here to cheer you on and to guide you and to coach you in and help you be molded into the person that you want to become. Now, if that sounds interesting to you, if that sounds a little bit different than everything that you've ever heard in the weight loss industry, then you need to give us a call. 844-988-THIN is our phone number, 844-988-8446. We have 3 locations in Illinois. So if you're listening on the radio, 3 locations in Illinois. We also can do programs around the world remotely. We're actually shipping out equipment on a daily basis for people around the world, doing our program remotely. We've had people in Germany do it, in South Africa do it, in Australia do it. So it is quite possible to do this program remotely. And if you're in a position where you don't want to be out because of the coronavirus, I totally understand that. And we can do everything from the comfort of your own home, and you never have to leave, and you can start getting the help you need. So give us a call, 844-988-THIN. We're not open yet, so you'll be leaving a message, or you can visit our website and you can schedule yourself online for any of our locations here in Illinois. We have Schaumburg, we have a location in New Lenox, and a location in Orland Park. And again, also the possibility of having a remote program. So that's what we do at VitaLife. And by the way, if you feel moved, if you're listening to me and you feel moved, you'd be like, yeah, man, that's what I need. I need to be proud about my own accomplishments. I need somebody to tell me what I need to do, and then I just need to do it. I know that I can do it. I just don't know what to do. Or I've tried everything and I follow through, but man, I just can't get past my my thyroid problem, my Hashimoto's, my autoimmune disease. I just can't seem to make it happen. Man, I've had bariatric surgery. I've had the gastric sleeve. I've had gastric bypass, and I still gained the weight back. I just can't figure out what I need to do to get past these barriers. I need someone to help me. That's VitaLife. All right, so you got that piece of paper. Goals this year. And again, these are not resolutions. Solutions. This is a all or nothing. Don't make a goal just this idea. If we when I think of revolution, I think of the American Revolution. I love history. I loved studying the American Revolution. When you look at the American Revolution, what if we just changed that word and we made it the American Resolution? Do you really think that if we had the American resolution, we would have been able to beat England and declare our own independence? Absolutely not. It wouldn't have worked. And when we think of it on that scale, we understand it, but yet when we think about it for our own life, we're just not ready to make that commitment. And from a psychological perspective, the reason we're afraid to make that total commitment is because we're afraid of failing. And it is that fear of failure that is making you fail over and over and over again. But because you haven't put all of your effort into it, it gives you a nice out. Yeah, I would have lost weight, but I really didn't follow it. I could do that, but I really I didn't put my entire effort into it, and that gives you an out. If you were to put your entire effort and if you were to make a revolution to be healthy and lose weight, I can guarantee you that you will be healthy and that you will lose weight. And that's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. They put they put themselves out there or put themselves at issue. I'm going to use a little bit different terminology. In other words, they made a stand for something, and they made everyone around them know, because that's the accountability. I am going to lose weight this year, and I am not going to let anything derail me from my success. It's going to happen, and I am going to be in charge of my own health. I am going to be in charge of my own life. I am going to be the architect of my future and not the slave of my present. This day is the last day where I take charge. I am no longer going to be a slave of my present. I'm no longer going to just eat things because they taste good. I'm going to eat things because I choose to eat them to make myself better. I want you to write down at the top of your sheet the word match. Or maybe like you could write it down the side, so up and down, match. M-A-T-C-H, match. All right, so M-A-T-C-H, match. This is about goals. So maybe at the top you can write goals or revolution. I want you to think for a moment, what could you be next year? What do you want to be next year? A lot of times we don't even consider that. And it's important to visualize what we want, because when we are in the middle of the fight, and when there's the food and the lifestyle that we've been living for the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 plus years, it's difficult to change. So one of the things that we must have to change is we have to have emotion behind what we're doing. So if we are able to visualize what we could become by that next year, we can begin to feel what that's like right now in our present self. And that emotion is going to cause us to act. And that emotion is what we're going to remember when we're having that difficult time saying no to certain foods, when we're having that difficult time making these transitions, when our body is going through just don't feel great and we want to give up. When we step on that scale and we actually still are gaining weight and we just want to throw in the towel. It's that emotion that is going to cause us to continue. So think about it for a minute. What do you want to be next year? And this can be for anything. This doesn't have to just be about weight. This can be about finances. Finances is another big one of the things that people make resolutions for. Well, don't make a resolution for finances. Make a revolution for finances. If you're trying to get out of debt, man, make that a revolution. Get out of debt this year. Or if it's like totally unattainable for you to get out of debt this year, cut your debt in half this year. What would that look like? How would you feel if that happened? How would you feel if you were debt free? How would you feel if you no longer were getting those collection letters? How would it make you feel if you paid off all those credit card bills? And you had that extra $3, $4, $5, $6 plus $100 a month that you weren't paying on those credit card bills. What would that feel like? What pride would you have in yourself for accomplishing that? What would that make you become? Put yourself in that future state. And for your goals, they need to match. Okay, so we take what we want to be. Let's say we want to be at a healthy weight. So let's say right now you're 200 pounds and you're 5'2", and you want to get to a healthy weight. You want to be 140 pounds or less. That's your goal. You want to lose 60 pounds this year. So when we look at a goal, we're going to make it match. We can't just be like, yeah, I want to be this thin, attractive person, or I want to feel good and be healthy. That's not a goal that matches. So here's the acronym MATCH. Write this down. M stands for measurable. A stands for attainable. T stands for time specific. And the CH goes together. So I should have probably told you that ahead of time. The CH is challenging. So you got the CH for the start of challenging. So this is the balance act of what we need to do to make goals match. So a goal that matches is, number one, measurable. So I want to lose weight is not a measurable goal, and some of you fail on your New Year's resolutions every year just because you say, I want to lose weight. Well, if you go to the bathroom, you just lost weight, so technically you're successful, right? No, because that's not what you wanted, but you have to clearly spell out what you want. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Same thing with our finances. If it's just like, I want to make more money this year. Well, if you find $1 on the ground, technically you've made more money this year. It's probably not what you had in mind, so you got to be specific about it. So a measurable goal. So I want to make $5,000 more this year. Let's say that would be something measurable. When it comes to our weight, we're going to take the person who wants to lose 60 pounds. That is a measurable goal. I want to lose 60 pounds. So number one is measurable. Number two is attainable. You want to make something that is attainable. Now, I will say you have the ability to accomplish more than you think you can. So maybe that attainable goal for you, a goal of losing 60 pounds in a year, may be unrealistic. We have people who lose 60 pounds in 40 days. So it's not, right? So I want you to make it something that's attainable. So for instance, if you're struggling with your finances, making a goal to make $1 million in 2021, if you're nowhere close to that, if you're making $30,000 a year right now, is probably not attainable because of the person you have to become to make $1 million in a year is not going to happen within a year. And it's all about who am I becoming in this process that we call life. So when I look at something measurable and then something attainable, I want to make sure that it is actually attainable. It's not me making $30,000 a year saying I'm going to make $1 million this year. It's me saying I'm making $30,000 a year, and maybe really pushing and saying, hey, I'm going to get a new job and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and start a business or do whatever, and I'm going to make $50,000 this year or $60,000. That's doubling. That's possible. That's attainable. The T in match, time specific. You have to put a time on your goal. Otherwise, it's just a dream. I want to lose 60 pounds. By when? If you want to lose 60 pounds, you don't set an end date. It's just an idea. Just same thing with I want to go on vacation. Okay, well, that's great. When? Because until you put it on the calendar, it's just a dream. And some of you are just dreaming about weight loss, and you've been dreaming about weight loss for so long. Man, it's time to put it on the calendar. By December 31st of 2021, I am going to weigh 140 pounds. That means I have to lose 60 pounds. 140 pounds by December 31st. That is time specific. And lastly, make your goal something that's challenging. Don't just say, I want to lose 20 pounds when, that's too easy. Now, I know for some of you, oh my goodness, that would be so awesome if I could lose 20 pounds. But if you need to lose 60, then go for the 60. And you can do it. But it's got to be that revolution. It can't be just, hey, I'm going to try this. It's, I am this. It is that identity change that is going to make the difference. So again, to review, this year for your goal, whatever that goal is, make it a goal that matches. Whatever you want to become, start with that. Visualize your future self. Visualize you at this exact date, time next year. What new skills have you learned? What person have you become? What weight have you lost? What have you given up in your life that was hurting you? What relationship do you need to start? What relationship do you might need to fix? Those are all great and amazing goals that we can set for ourselves this coming year. So number 1, measurable. Number 2, attainable. Number 3, time specific. And lastly, challenging. Thank you for listening to the Life with Vitality show. I'm your host, Davis Jaspers, reminding you that today is the perfect day to live a vital life.